Hey guys, welcome back to the lineup show. I appreciate you watching. I hope your lineups went good for you yesterday, your NFL DFS lineup. I know mine was looking rough there for a while, but I did make it in a winning bracket. That is what counts. It wasn't by a lot, but I did make it in a winning bracket, so I'm thankful for that. Last night, the showdown slate didn't go so well, however, but the main slate went good, and that one was the bigger payout for me, so that was the good news. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go over tonight's Monday Night Football game for you guys. We have the Carolina Panthers at the San Francisco 49ers, and it is, from my understanding, Christian McCaffrey's first game against his old team. So I expect this to be a good one. I think Christian McCaffrey is probably the best play on the slate. He's averaging 26.4 fantasy points a game. Last week he had 35.1 fantasy points, 6 targets, and 13 rush attempts. The Panthers ranked 23rd against the running back position and 16th against the rush. I think he is set up in a great spot here, and I'm going to do my best to play him at captain. He is very high salaried, so that can make it difficult, but there's some guys I don't mind not playing today or tonight. And one of them I think I'm going to not play is Rico Dowdle, which that one I'm hesitant to not do. I think Rico Dowdle has been playing phenomenal football this year, or at least he's had a few phenomenal games. But he's definitely been playing pretty good. Chuba Hubbard is back, so that might take away a little bit, I guess, from him. But 49ers are 17th against the running back, 14th against the rush, so it's not a terrible matchup. It's kind of mid-pack. It's not very good, but it's not very bad either. So he should be able to get points. I don't think he's going to get a lot of points, and I think in order for the Panthers to stay in this game, I think they're going to have to pass more. Keep in mind it is in San Francisco, so I just think it's going to be a passing game for them. Not saying Rico Dowdle can't get some passes thrown his way, but I kind of expect the receivers to get more work, I guess, in this game. Brock Purdy, I don't really like him in this game, to be honest with you. I think the matchup is actually a tough one for him, or somewhat tough. The Panthers are 9th against the quarterback. They are 16th against the pass. And for some reason, I can see this being a challenging game for him. I don't know why. He averages 20.6 fantasy points a game. I honestly don't know that I see him getting to that 20-point mark today. I feel like maybe 14, 15, 16 points. I just don't expect him to get 20, which makes me a little bit more confident fading on him this week, because I'm actually going to play Bryce Young, I think, instead of Brock Purdy. And for salary reasons, I don't think I can play them both. So I definitely like Bryce Young's matchup here. 49ers are 24th against the quarterback, 28th against the pass. And I think, given the right situation, he can play football for sure. He's only averaging 14.6 fantasy points a game. I just think this is going to be a spot where he's able to get some points and going to have to pass a lot. And if you look, Tetaroa McMillan last week had 36 fantasy points. That's pretty stinking solid from a wide receiver. Although yesterday we had players getting all kinds of fantasy points. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, the 49ers are 29th against the wide receiver position, 28th against the pass. And I think that he will make a great play today. Maybe even a captain option. As far as captain goes, really, I'm looking at 3 players. Either Christian McCaffrey, Bryce Young, or McMillan. And those are the ones that I like for tonight. Maybe a Rico Dowdle. But I don't think that I'm going to play him at captain, if I even play him, and I most likely am not going to for salary reasons. I do like George Kittle in this game. The Panthers are 20th against the tight end, 16th against the pass. He's had back-to-back games over 20 points. He had 23.4 in Week 10, 24.7 in Week 11. Fantasy point wise, guys, and Ricky Pearsall had 1 point last week. So if that tells you anything, how much they like to throw to him. The Panthers are 7th against the wide receiver, 16th against the pass. I personally don't want anything to do with the 49ers receivers this week. The receivers just don't look like they're in a good spot for me. I could see you playing Xavier Legette. He had 18.3 fantasy points last week. And like we said, the 49ers are 29th against the wide receiver, 28th against the pass. So I definitely could see you playing really any of them. I'll just be honest. I don't think I like either kicker today. 49ers defense technically looks good on paper, except the matchup, I'm saying, they only averaged 3.7 fantasy points a game, so I highly recommend not playing their defense, but I don't want to steer you wrong, so if I'm wrong and you listen, I apologize. But I can't guarantee anything, so don't do it based off me, do it based off your thoughts. But I don't think they look good at all here. And I don't trust the Panthers in San Francisco against Christian McCaffrey. No thank you. Chuba Hubbard, I think possibly could be a good pick here. But I don't see why you would necessarily need to play him. I would prefer Rico Dowdle. But I could see you playing Hubbard for sure. Then outside of that, guys, we have tight ends. So really there's 3 tight ends for the Panthers that all seem to get targets, but Sanders seems to get the most. He had 4 last week, 5 in Week 10. Jatavian Sanders, I think I like him here out of all 3 of them the most, but I could see the argument to play any of them. But I think, the 49ers are 25th against the tight end position, so I think that would be good. Tungus, I'm not sure. I've heard it both ways. I don't think he's worth playing here. They like to throw to Kittle. Kyle Husek, I think, could be a good play here for a cheap option. I think he's one of the best cheap options on the slate. Panthers are 23rd against the running back. He's a fullback, though, and they don't use him a lot. But when they do use him, sometimes it's at the goal line. And that's ideally what we would want if we played him. I would want them to throw him the ball at the end zone or hand him the ball to run into the end zone, something of that nature. A goal line touch is what I'm saying. But he could have value if that happens. Otherwise, I don't see a whole lot of value there. We do have Bryson Tremaine, who looks like he has some value here. I think it would be also a situation where you would really want a touchdown. Otherwise, I don't think he'd be worth it necessarily. But he did see 2 targets last week and 1 target in Week 9. And then you have Jimmy Horn Jr., who didn't see a target in the last 2 games. So I don't think I want to go there. Hunter Renfrow, hasn't seen a target since Week 6. He's way down there on the depth chart now, so I don't even think they're playing him in games. They might have moved him to the practice squad. I don't know. I think he's like He was way down there on the depth chart, guys. Yeah, there you have it. So, yeah, with that said, those are the cheap options that I like. Don't care to play Farrell. Yeah, that's it, guys. Those are all the players that I like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make McCaffrey my captain if I can. I'm going to skip over Dowdle for now because I don't think I'm going to be able to fit him in salary cap wise. I'm going to put in McMillian. There you go. McMillionaire maker. Going to put in McMillan. Going to put in Bryce Young. Gonna put in George Kittle. That's not gonna leave us with a whole lot. Looking at these guys, it's not gonna leave us with a whole lot, but from there, I think I don't want to play either defense. I think I'd play Sanders, and then boom, 1,400. Kyle Uzak. There you have it. There's a complete lineup for you guys. I'm not certain that I love it. I'm sure that some of you don't love it either, but I think it might be important to get McCaffrey in that captain spot tonight. So, yeah, there you have it, guys. I appreciate you watching, and I will catch you on the next one, which I guess is going to be the Thanksgiving Day slate. That's going to be 3 games, I believe, for us. So, yeah, that ought to be exciting, guys. I look forward to it. Hey, I wish you the best in your lineups tonight. Feel free to subscribe, and have a good one. Thanks.